What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. All right, guys. So last week on the podcast, we talked about the potential of Vince McMahon getting back in the ring at WrestleMania. Why?
Thank God.
But this time, we actually find out that ain't the case. Because Vince McMahon, because he was on Pat McAfee's show this past Thursday. And I said, well, I will talk about it next week on the podcast to see how it all went down. And I was like, well, they're going to be here to shoot this angle. He's going to probably say something he don't like. He's going to probably say, I resent your tone, pal. And then it's going to be a whole Vince McMahon kind of thing. But actually, no, this interview, I was just like, I was kind of surprised for a little bit. You know, Vince McMahon was trying to humanize himself, and then it wasn't like Pat McAfee was asking the hard Stone Cold Steve Austin questions, but he did mention Saudi Arabia, he did mention AEW and TNA and all that stuff like that, and you can tell by the way Vince's demeanor is how he wanted to answer or how he didn't want to answer certain questions. So I already, everybody probably wants to know like what was saying and everything like that, but I want to talk about some of the takeaway.
Whoa! Wait a minute. I'm watching this footage from. I swear, it looked like Lil Morgan almost just made out with Rhea Ripley.
Where do you find this at?
Yeah, I'm wrong.
I mean,
okay. Sorry.
I mean, you said that, I'm just saying, but I missed that part, Pinky.
My bad. Sorry.
So before I get into it, probably real quick, your thoughts. I know you didn't hear the whole show, but just the thought of Chris Jericho. Vince McMahon going on Pat McAfee's show to do an interview. She claimed the first one he did in 15 years, not even counting the broken skull thing he did with Austin back in 20. What was it, 14?
I mean, I thought it was cool. Vince was just being Vince. So. I mean, I like some of the things that he was talking about. Some of it, I just like, okay, that's definitely a business term, but he was definitely still telling stories too. So.
Oh yeah, we got into a lot of things. We got into him talking about his dad and how he was, bullied as a child and, lived in a trailer park, and how he broke away from that and went out to, make something of himself and things like that. So, we talked about that. And
I did hear him definitely call Linda his wife at the time at one point. He definitely said, yeah, she was my wife at the time.
What?
Yeah, he said that.
That's okay. What was I leave off that? So yeah,
see, you can't even focus at the stupid stuff you have to say sometimes.
I know this is a lot of stupid shit. And Pat McAfee is gassing him up and doing some talking about the different things that he wants to know about it. He wants to talk about how he thanks Vince McMahon for the opportunity because he likes to learn from Vince McMahon and things like that. Vince does not like to be thanked, so he already made that very clear on the show. But some of the great stuff like that is like he got into basically how that he, even though he loves his family, that right now he has to make the hard decision that if something is not working, they have to let them go, i.e. Shane McMahon. Or that he had, really high hopes for some of his family members, and he kind of let him down, which I think he's talking about Triple H, and and how he talks about how he got to handle those situations, and he loves competition and he loves confrontation. Excuse me, he loves competition because when Pat McAfee asked him about, does that bring out the creative process more when you have TNA and AEW on the rise? Does it help bring out the more competition in your so day? So he said he loves the confrontation and to go and face that. And he feels as though he says, you can't really change what nobody thinks of you. What's to say? People call you an asshole and stuff like that. So, so yeah, okay. Whoa, they called me off guard too.
See, I told you that's what it looked
Closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he talked about the confrontation type things, and the one of the things that was just like when he talks about how they listen to the fans, and some more of a group effort in the back. I'm kind of like that's a lot of bullshit that you're talking right now, because you can tell they don't listen to the fans, and it's all for the idea of one man, and that's the one sitting in that chair right now, and that's Vince. And it's not like we got a collective idea that if somebody doesn't like their character or something like that, they can go talk about it, and which it has been true, but it's what Vince McMahon likes or what Vince McMahon wants. That's going to be the bottom line, and he has made that very clear before. So he's talking about along the things of if it brings in good business, he's not going to turn it away. Such as when it came to bringing Hogan back into the company in 2002, because the fans wanted to see Hogan, and then he brought Hogan back in the company. I'm not saying that Vince has not done some listen to the fans moves, especially in the previous years.
I mean, he would definitely listen to the fans and bring them back, but he definitely don't treat them the same or treat them good.
He don't.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't at all. So that's the only thing. I was like that's kind of some bullshit. We heard about the horror stories about them ripping up the script of SmackDown right before the show even starts, because Vince McMahon wants to change some things. It's like so I don't know when it comes to the fan base of how much you're really truly listening, especially after all those releases that you just had last year, which Pat McAfee does bring up, talking about the releases and everything like that. And of course he goes with the it is the the business thing, and he considers a lot of those people that were released dead weight, which I find disrespectful.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna sit there. It's not dead weight, because the thing is, y'all don't need to hoard their talent anymore. Y'all hoarded all their talent so they could not go anywhere else. And then after you hoarded all that talent, you had nothing to do with them, and you're saying that they're just dead weight. Where these people, especially with the Keith Lees or the Isaiah Swerve Scotts, so these people can actually go in there and prove what they can do. And it can also help make new stars. Which is something else that they obviously are criminally not being able to do. But there's also news that Vince McMahon said that he will be the one inducting The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame. And it will be the most hardest he ever did in his life, including, well, not including, I'm saying, but yeah, the hardest he ever did in his life, even though he just fired the son. But he said, because I'm going to be talking about Mark Calloway, the man, and not The Undertaker. He can talk about The Undertaker all the time, but with Mark Calloway, he gets very emotional because of how him and close The Undertaker are, and how he didn't go to WCW, and the usual stuff like that. So, I think out of all the rivalry stuff like that, I think Vince McMahon is the perfect person to induct him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he stayed for Vince for like 40 years. Vince was the right person that was going to induct him.
Yeah, I mean, in any other world, talk about anything else, I can think a couple people that can, induct him. But as of right now, I think Vince McMahon is the sole choice of who should be inducted him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't even think Taker didn't induct Kane.
Well, because he was still in character mode. Because I was just like, he should have, but he did let him know on the phone or during the bump.
Excuse me, I was about to say character mode. Undertaker was on the bump on video call. What you mean character mode? What do you mean?
You are right. I can't argue with it. But I was like, but you know what? Okay, that was that was some good news. I guess, or some news, and then also the whole match angle that they was talking about and everything like that. Mr. Man, instead of it like him getting mad, Pat back, he just says, "You love what we do," and then obviously you jump up on the table, stuff like that. I just let you be you, so I want to reward you with you having a match at WrestleMania. And that's how it was. There wasn't no argument between him and Vince or anything. He was just over ecstatic, and he said, "I'll find you a worthy opponent," which you already figured out is going to be Austin Theory in the first place.
Yeah, definitely not. Oh, it's a good opponent to make him look good, but it definitely wasn't like he was talking. But, all right.
Yeah. not at all. And I was just like, okay, so that's how we're going to do the WrestleMania angle. So I'm actually kind of glad that we ain't got to get, Vince McMahon trying to do this wrestling angle to get him, because him versus Pat McAfee would have made absolutely no sense. I'm like, yeah, just he's 76 years old. Just let the young guy do it, and help get Pat McAfee over on night one. And apparently, just listen to the other parts of the show. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know Pat McAfee, like hip hop music.
Yeah.
See what?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Pat McAfee other than he was a punter.
That's all you know. Oh, you gotta watch. If you don't watch the show, you gotta at least watch the snippets that they upload.
Well,
it's like I listen to the full show because it's like on Sirius XM, so you can just listen. I just listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it'd be entertaining. It's basically First Take for like whatever he feel like it, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Like First Take is just for sports. He literally talk about what he'd be like, did you see what was on TV? Like he'll talk about whatever he feel like it. But mostly it is sports. Like on Tuesdays he have Aaron Rodgers for like a whole 2 hours or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Every Tuesday. And
wow.
stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I learned something. He was talking about, how Vince, got all the money and came out from the trailer. He said when I was growing up, all I wanted was the big Escalade trucks and ride them on 24s. And I was like, what are you talking about, man?
And he almost got taken away too.
Exactly. So yes, I did not know he was into hip hop or rap like that.
Mm-hmm.
Look up something like that. So you obviously knew that. So I gotta find that clip where you found that out. But it's either here or there. It's all about Vincent, and like I said, the interview was okay. It wasn't an angle. Obviously, Vince is going to be PC about a lot of things. He talked about the Saudi Arabia thing and how he get a bit of that. He kind of really dodged that answer about that, talking more so along the facts of it's their culture over there. We can't go over there and tell America it's American culture. We should you should live by the way we do, which I mean kind of is true. But I don't want to hear that come from Vince. Talking about cultures and stuff like that they got over there, please. So am I missing anything from that Pat McAfee show?
No, not really. Vince pretty much just was Vince most likely. Like he didn't talk and he said stuff. I would say Vince is Vince. I don't want to put it in that term, but that's what happened. I mean, it was a good interview. It was a good thing to talk to. Even though this was good, I'll be honest, Brock Lesnar was still my favorite one. I don't care.
I agree with you on that Brock Lesnar.
I watched the full Brock Lesnar interview plenty of times, and it's just great. Especially him doing this man does a Stone Cold impression, and this man was singing songs on Pat McAfee's show. Like Brock is going crazy. Did you hear Brock what he said over the weekend? He just randomly was like, "Yeah, I watched the TV show Friends. Monica's my favorite character. I really love her style." This is Brock Lesnar we're talking about here. Talking about he loves her style. He loves her style. Excuse me? Well, yeah, Brock is just... Brock. It's either Brock is doing the Undertaker thing, where the Undertaker took like 35,000 interviews before he retired. You know what that means. So, but the thing is, though, what's so weird to me is, it's either he got beef with Stone Cold, because he was definitely not talkative at all on the Stone Cold show. You know what I'm talking about, right? The what was it? The broken ranch conversation, whatever.
The broken glass.
Yeah, that one. It was definitely not entertaining at all in that. And you go from that to this Brock. He must be just happy. He must be just overall happier now.
That's why I said Brock party.
He definitely is happier now because that. Oh my gosh. It's probably one of my favorite, and I watch a lot of Pat McAfee interviews. It's probably my favorite, one of my top 3 at least.